Hey everybody, welcome back to Duality 7X. Now, you're not going to believe what went down this weekend. Raja Jackson, yeah, the son of UFC legend Rampage Jackson, actually attacked a pro wrestler mid-match live on stream. And I'm not talking about a standard bump or heel move, guys. This is the real deal. It was a straight up brutal assault, headshots, concussion level violence, and the LAPD investigation, yes, is happening as we speak, and hospitalization occurred. It was pure chaos. So I'm gonna unpack as much as I can what happened, who's responsible, what it means for the MMA, wrestling, and safety standards across the board. So let's kind of get into it. Guys, this was brutal. I mean, this man is one wild, like, holy smokes, man. But here's the breakdown. Quinton Rampage Jackson. He's a legend. Everybody knows him as his time in MMA, the things that this guy's been able to do. He's been very, very critiqueful of his son, Raja Jackson. And some might say he's putting a lot of pressure on his kid. And some are saying, you know what, just stay out of it. You know, let family handle their family business, and rightfully so. But what happens when your son violently attacks somebody midstream, and, you know, something that was supposed to be kind of like a staged match, as so to speak? So, like, I mean, we're gonna dive into technically how a simple beer can flick turned into a brutal beating, and why the LAPD is now involved, and how this could potentially affect mixed martial arts in general, and all the wrestling and safety and everything that's kind of like, you know, surrounding the story. Who's accountable? The wrestlers, the promotion, Rampage, perhaps maybe himself. This is going to be really interesting, guys. And I'm telling you guys, there's always, you know, when it comes to father, son, or, you know, or anything to do with like siblings, right, and family, there's always a layer of a layer of complexity that goes into these stories. So, guys, if you're if you're new, excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. If you guys are new to the channel, please smash a like and subscribe. Share your comments below. I read all the comments, and I try to answer all the comments as best as I can. And follow us on our journey to hit 10 million subs. Yeah, that's a far cry right now from where we are. But definitely, you know, give us some attention. Smash a like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you guys never miss a beat. And we'll do our best to continue to pump out as much of this exciting news and content when it comes to the world of MMA, UFC, boxing, and WWE to the best of our abilities. Now, here's a lowdown. The event, Knock X Pro Wrestling Academy in Los Angeles. Now, I haven't personally heard of them, but it was supposed to be a scripted match. Rampage's son, Raja Jackson, not a wrestler, but an MMA guy, steps into the ring with Syko Stu, a veteran indie wrestler and U.S. Army vet, using wrestling to help manage, you know, post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Classic story, right? But earlier, what happens is Syko Stu throws a beer can at Raja's head. Now, it could have been playful. I mean, a lot of people are looking at it as playful, maybe provoking, but yeah, we were told that perhaps maybe it was part of the show. It was just kind of a setup for like a payback moment in the ring. Rampage himself even later called it like work gone wrong, but clearly somebody lost a script. And what unfolded after that was just pure chaos, guys, and pure horror, actually. So here's what Rampage, the dad, said later on X. I don't condone my son's actions at all. He suffered a concussion days earlier. He shouldn't have been involved. It was bad judgment, a work gone wrong. He said Syko Stu was comfortable and awake, and the whole thing just should have never happened. Now, this is obviously Raja's dad, Rampage coming out and trying to defend his son like any parent would do. But the video, the pictures, forget the pictures. The video was obviously something else, guys. And it was a beatdown. It was a beatdown that could have been even worse than it looked, right? So this wasn't a momentary lapse, and yeah, maybe there was a pre-existing concussion or issue or something like that Syko Stu might have had, from a previous bout, but this was a violent overreaction. I was gonna say violent altercation, but this was not only an altercation, it was a violent overreaction. Raja threw over 20 hard punches to an unconscious guy's head. That goes beyond any pro wrestling imagination, script. It's completely criminal territory. And Syko Stu, a crazy guy, military veteran who wrestles to manage PTSD, now he's in critical care. And that's not a storyline, guys. Now, I'm sure the promoters are trying to make a storyline out of that sickening news. But yeah, he's in critical care, guys. And a few things stuck out. Raja should have never been in that ring. Okay, this guy is a mixed martial arts athlete, not a wrestler. And that's just legitimately dangerous to have somebody with his caliber, with his skill sets in the ring with Syko Stu. The beer can
provocation. You don't know me?
Hell no.
Scripted, guys. Yeah. No excuse for laying it.
Hey, I think that's what.
Why would the guy even use that as part of the gimmick? Like, why would you throw a beer can at somebody? Like, come on, man. Anyhow, the Academy never expected real violence. Obviously not. But now they're facing backlash, right? Lawsuits, maybe even losing affiliations. WWE pulled ties extremely fast, guys. So just as a little news on that. And now the LAPD is kind of investigating potential felony battery, and this could end really badly for Raja and for the promotion itself. The promotion itself, honestly, look, sometimes you can't speak to the efficacy or what other people do within your organization, and it's unfortunate. Sometimes you just get wrestlers, fighters who do things off the cuff, off the script. And it happens. It happens all the time. It's called receipts. When somebody dishes out, they get paid a receipt. And that usually comes in form of something that happens in the ring, a little extra shot or something, as kind of like a reminder that, hey, I didn't like what you did. Now, here's a little payback for that, right? Now, it happens all the time. But this was unquestionably criminal. It was horrific. And anybody watching it, honestly, they would have said the same thing. Right? The fact that the LAPD is investigating potential felony battery in this case, if the WWE quickly pulled their ties fast and other affiliations like running south, what does that tell you? This is like watching a car crash in slow motion. You can't look away, but you're absolutely horrified. Right? Okay, so now let's level with one another here, guys. What's going to happen now? All right? So there's probably going to be impeding charges for sure, right? If LAPD is investigating a potential felony battery, charges are going to be laid for sure, right? And this could lead to additional charges like assault with a deadly weapon, maybe even prison time. Now, the wrestling industry fallout, NockX is most likely going to lose their license, right? Fans, they're going to lose their fans, they're going to lose their bookings. If they're seen as unsafe, that's going to hit the business hard. All because of one individual completely lost their cool that could totally take down an entire organization. It's absolutely crazy. But the liabilities of being in the wrestling business, this is not a joke. I don't know why so many people think it's so easy to start a promotion and and think they're gonna get, like, I don't know if they're thinking they're gonna get rich off of it or it's gonna be a lot of fun. The amount of liabilities when it comes to having two guys throw each other off the top rope, or like slamming each other, like through tables and chairs and God knows what, that in itself is pretty scary stuff, right? And then what about the family reputation? I mean, Rampage Jackson already in damage control. His son's got a concussion, violent outburst. This stains their brand. It totally stains their brand. And I'm not talking about like the Ball brothers, right? Like, with LaMelo and his dad. And I mean, this is at a whole different level, man. We're talking about felony assault, assault with a deadly weapon, and now you're out there trying to defend your son. And then if he's trying to get into MMA, trying to get in, with organizations like the UFC and stuff like that, like they're going to be a little extra weary about whether or not they want a loose cannon like Raja in the folds of their organization. Now, I mean, I'm just talking to you from what we're hearing, what we saw. What happened was absolutely, unquestionably, unequivocally not cool by any stretch. It wasn't good at all. And shame on the promotion, and shame on Raja for doing what he did. I mean, his dad should have, I'm sure his dad taught him, and I'm sure he understands discipline and the meaning of, look, his hands, he's a mixed martial arts fighter. He's an MMA fighter, guys, which means his hands are a weapon. All right? His legs are a weapon. They could be used to hurt somebody. So if he's out there and he's doing damage in real life with his weapons, that's scary to think that this guy could be out there walking right next to you and all of a sudden he'll flip the script and go loco on you. That's not cool. Now, I'm sure, I don't know how you say there's some kind of reasonable explanation to all this when he pretty much hammer fisted this guy 20 times in the head, especially when Syko Stu was like completely unconscious to top that off. But we haven't heard Raja's story or side of the story yet either, right? So I'd like to know what was going on in his head. So anyways, right, then you got policy changes. You got venues and promotions now. They're probably going to be tightening their security. You got vet participants. Like, I mean, these veterans are out there and stuff like that. Like Stu dealing with PTSD, and like there's all kinds of vets out there dealing with all kinds of things, and a lot of them require certain kinds of medical clearances, like even in the indie scenes, right? And these guys are out there obviously because they rely on that income to live. And if for this to happen, I mean, Rampage's son is going to be fine. He's young. He's an up and comer. Most likely he'll get a shot in one of the big organizations. And his dad's a legend. He's going to be all right. But what about Stu? What about Stu? Is he going to be all right? This is a guy who served his country, who went out there, and he's a veteran, and now he's fighting in, indie wrestling kind of organizations to make a buck, and that's his character. He's probably psycho, right? Like he probably goes crazy, does things to piss people off, but that's his character. That's his wrestling character. It's scripted. And so for Rampage's son to lay him out flat, put him into critical condition, in a hospitalized, like who's going to pay for all those hospital bills now, and who's going to take care of Stu? What about that lost check, that lost income earned? Who's going to pay for his mortgage if he has one, or his debt, his bills? Who's going to take care of his kids? I mean, these are serious things. Now, maybe Stu should have chosen a different profession, understanding the ramifications for wanting to become a wrestler, and understanding that he puts himself in a very vulnerable position where he could get seriously injured. Well, I mean, I hope everyone's taking notice to this. I hope all the folks that are out there, at his age, are trying to, are thinking about this as to whether or not this is actually a safe sport to get involved in, because things happen, and unfortunate things happen. But what do you do when it does happen? So, was it all Raja's fault? I don't think so. I don't think it was all Raja's fault. I'll be first to say it probably wasn't all his fault. Obviously, he got triggered to the point where he lost his cool. But even when you lose your cool, at some point, you got to be like, okay, whoa. punch after punch after punch after punch. You're doing this 20 times. At some point, maybe after the fourth, fifth, sixth punch even, you're like, wait a minute, maybe I need to stop. This guy's completely, clearly uncautious. He's not responding to my punches. Why do you keep going? Why do you keep going? So should MMA guys just stay out of wrestling if not trained? I don't know. That's a question that I think it's more of an individual thing people are going to have to ask themselves. And how do you feel? How do you feel about the fans who live stream everything? Like, where does entertainment end and responsibility begin? Like, who's accountable for this? Like, when we talk about accountability and transparency and stuff like that, like these days, man, everybody's on their phones. Somebody could be mugged on the street and people are going to pull out their phones and start filming it. For what? It's absolutely crazy. Anyways, guys, like, here's the recap. I mean, like, this just wasn't work gone wrong. Sorry, Rampage, but it wasn't. It was a violent, real attack with real consequences. And Syko Stu is stable, but he's in critical condition. And now Raja's facing some serious heat, guys. And the entire scene. I'm not just talking about KnockX Wrestling Academy in Los Angeles. I'm talking about the entire scene is under notice. And it's under a magnifying glass. So was this a one-off? Was it a bad call? Or is it, like, you know, symptomatic of a deeper safety problem in indie wrestling? Like, you know, where, like, I've seen things. I've watched indie wrestling before, and, you know, like, up and close, and see people like launching themselves off the top rope into like a table on the ground with like very thin padding that separates them and the concrete. Like, they walk out of there injured. Some of them with broken bones, concussions. Like, there's all kinds of things that happen. It's not cool. So, I don't know. Like, I mean, drop your take in the comments. I want all of it, guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I mean, if you got value, if you felt attention, I mean, smash that like and subscribe. And stick around here on Duality 7X for more fight talk, breakdowns, and wild combat sports stories, guys. Stay sharp, stay safe, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video.